Everyone, welcome to the show. I have more Trump regrets and FAFO stories for you. First, I wanted to share this man's lengthy post. This was really kind of a potpourri of regret, a poo-poo platter, if you will, and I think you might. So he wrote on Twitter, quote, I voted for Trump with the hope for peace and prosperity, forgetting what's going on with the economy. More importantly, is the very dangerous signal he is sending to Putin. What the hell is he doing? With an exclamation point, not a question mark. He wants to take over Canada. He wants to take over Greenland, possibly by force. So if I were Putin, why not just crush Ukraine and why not go into other European countries and follow Trump's actions? He says this tariff bullshit and the quote unquote pain, his words, it will cause will only last a short time. My 401k has lost $50,000 in the last 2 months. I am a senior citizen, along with other elderly retired citizens who've worked all their lives. This retirement savings is what we had planned to make our golden years stable and a basic continuance of our lifestyle. Will, Mr. President, my wife and I may not have the time to see this economic rebound you promise. I do agree that we have to deport criminal immigrants, but the internal U.S. and ramifications around the world are sending bad vibes about the future. At this point, I regret voting for you. I would have never voted for Kamala, but you mean to tell me we didn't have many more qualified candidates to run this country? Again, exclamation point, not a question mark. Sorry, Donnie, but you have grossly misled us. I voted on your campaign agenda, but can't you see it's not working? Again, exclamation point, no question mark. I'm not a billionaire. The citizens of this country who voted for you feel the same way. The middle class is going to suffer immediately. If these policies continue to take down our values at the speed of light, we may not be able to recover. Again, guys, I read these as they're written. So I added the inflection, though, this time for the questions. But yeah, he kept using an exclamation point. I keep asking, like, do conservatives not have question marks? Or maybe I shouldn't say conservatives. Do MAGA Republicans not have question marks on their keyboards? Like, is that a thing? Anyway, another Trump voter posted on Twitter and threatened, quote, my family will switch to Democrat for the next 50 years if Trump doesn't do the right thing. He never does. So get that voter registration change ready, guy. I'm also still seeing posts from Trump voters who've been affected by the DOGE cuts or who are at risk due to the DOGE ignorance. So as an example, in a conservative Reddit group, a scientist wrote, quote, I work as a scientist, PhD level, and my colleagues are terrified. This person went on to explain the negative impact of NIH cuts, and they said, quote, this would result in mass job loss, halting of science, tech, etc., PhD training, and would start to threaten the closure of research universities and medical schools' research wings. If you want to lose to China, India, or Europe in science and medicine, this is how you do it. My job and others are in danger because DOGE can't read and assume that indirect costs somehow equate to DEI. Another person posted on Twitter in part, quote, I am a conservative federal worker. I voted for Trump 3 times. This narrative about federal workers being lazy and worthless is so false. And then they go on to say how hard they work, how their supervisors are always watching them, keeping an eye on what they're doing, that they can even track employees who are working from home. And then they wrote, quote, "It is disappointing to see that we are under attack. Now I have to worry about my job once again as all the criminals in government continue to profit from their crimes." Yeah, sounds like this person really fell for the whole drain the swamp thing. Next up is another leopards eating people's faces party member. This person is named Malia McCool, and she wrote an opinion piece for the Hartford Courant news outlet, I think is how you pronounce it, Courant. She described herself as a lifelong Republican, and McCool said that she has been a big supporter of Trump's current education secretary, Linda McMahon, for more than a decade. More than a decade and a half, actually. She said she supported this woman. She did a school project and, praised her, blah, blah, blah. Guess she didn't understand how this woman allegedly covered up the sexual abuse of children. But anyway, McCool went on to write, quote, "In a cruel and ironic twist, last month, Secretary McMahon fired me from the Department of Education as part of the broader Trump agenda to root out civil servants who he perceives are part of the deep state." Yeah. Leopards feasted on her face. And then a gay conservative, which is always it's such an oxymoron to me. But a gay conservative was not happy and is just now starting to realize that MAGA isn't the party of freedom. They're not the party of freedom of choice. They're not the party of, First Amendment and freedom of thought, freedom of speech, freedom to be who you are. So one of these gay men posted on Twitter, quote, "To all the Republicans trying to make same-sex marriage illegal, I am a gay married man and a Republican. I am pro-life. I am pro-Second Amendment. And I voted for Trump. Just because we are in charge right now doesn't make it okay to go back to the old Republican ways. That is going to ruin the momentum that Trump and us Republicans have and only boost the liberal momentum. It's not the same Republican Party it used to be. Get over it. I love being Republican and would never be a Democrat, but reverting to the old ways will only ruin the party. I honestly can't believe I am seeing the news of several states trying to get the Supreme Court to overturn same-sex marriage. I am a Republican through and through and hope I always will be. But doing this will only push me and other people like me out." Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Say this gay man did not read Project 2025, or he thought it was fake news, didn't want to listen to the liberals, the libs that he hates, the Democrats he hates, telling him that, yeah, they went after women and reproductive rights first. And guess what? They're going to come after you next. Anyway, he is not alone because a gay woman also posted her concerns on Twitter. This was on March 6th. She wrote, quote, and this is just part of it, "I am frustrated that some far-right extremists are introducing legislation against gay marriage. I also spent the last several years deeply frustrated by the extremism coming from the other side. When the pendulum swings too far one way, it will fire back too far the other way." Yeah. Yeah. But there was only one party that was actually trying to protect those rights for you, lady. And you chose the wrong party. You chose the other one. The one that has over and over again tried to take away people's expression. They don't want, drag shows. They don't want certain books in libraries. They want to tell people how to raise their children. They want to tell women what to do with their bodies. They're now trying to silence anyone who speaks out against another country, speaks out against Israel and the, atrocities that they're committing. So yeah, there is one party that wants to silence people, and it's not the Democrats at this moment. So anyway, I will let you all know, or but not that I will let you know when I hear more. I have more for you. I have a lot more Trump regrets, so I'll share those later in the week. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.